Butter Vision. Greetings and salutations! Fancy meeting you here at Unsportsmanlike Conduct, the show with a bunch of handsome men arguing about sports. On today's episode, Kamau Talbott, David Goodman, Keith Caggiano and Robbie Day. And now, here's your host. He's a lover and a fighter, but not particularly good at either, J.D. Butter.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right. What up, y'all? Your man J.D. Butter here. We're back for another episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Now, you know, I just applied my Just for Men patchy beard. I got my Detroit Tigers t-shirt, so we are ready to go. Before we get into the show, though, I want to talk about, and, you know, I promised that I would keep this show light and fun, and we're going to keep it light and fun, but this is a sports-related matter that's going on, so I just want to real quickly talk about what's going on with the NFL, kind of changing their whole policy about kneeling, the NFL talking about, you know, giving money, the NFL doing all this stuff, right? In this moment in our society, in our history as a nation, any progress is good, okay? That's fine. The NFL, though, has had a long time to address these issues. How long have we been talking about Colin Kaepernick, okay? So while I'll give them some credit for reversing field, they kind of had to reverse field with the groundswell that's going on in this country. So I'm not going to give them full credit for doing this. This has to be step one for them, and they have to keep following this up with additional action. Same thing with NASCAR. Great that they've banned Confederate flags, but that in 2020, we're talking about a major sport now getting around to banning Confederate flag. I mean, come on, dude. It's like, don't bust your arm patting yourself on the back just yet, NFL and NASCAR. Great first step. You got to continue to follow this up with action and involvement in these issues. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna leave it with that. And now I'm going to get ready to bring in these panelists for this week. We're going to start it off with my man, hailing from Mid-City La La Land. We've already had this guy on a show before, so you know what a renaissance man he is. Rapper, actor, chef. I could go on, and we're going to talk to him about it. Let's bring him in here right now, ladies and gentlemen. My man, Mr. K. Millie Kamau Talbott in the house, ladies and gentlemen. What's good? There he is. Oh, with the Bay Area background. What's good, my man?
I am good right now. What's going on, JD? You know, you got your boy K. Millie, the anthem, you know, the sportsman, sultan of everything. I am a connoisseur of sports. This is what we do, man. It's unsportsmanlike conduct. How y'all feel? I'm out here in Phoenix, AZ. About to get it in.
Oh, wow. All right. What's going on in Phoenix, my brother?
We can't talk about it on
wow. Okay, wow. It's like that. Well, here's something we can talk about, because I mentioned in the open what a renaissance man you are. I mentioned, and we're going to talk about this throughout the season, each of these kind of vectors that you flow in. Chef, because I saw you chefing out on the Facebook the other day, right?
Right.
Obviously, you've been working at a major Hollywood institution, SAG, for many years. So you're a G. You got like the 9 to 5 thing.
Right.
You also promote events on weekends. But the thing I really want to talk about today, my brother, is the rapper portion of your resume, my brother. I wanted to ask you, because I, of course, know that you're skilled.
Yeah.
I'm curious, are you retired or do you still have bars? What's up?
For the come on, man. So I think I probably am going to have to do a theme song for the show.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
So
at least come out of a slight retirement a little bit or something of that nature. But no, we still doing music. It's more that the music went into the film and the writing and then the chefing has always been there. But the bars is still there. The boy's still nice.
All right. I just needed to know that. Let's get another one of these cats in here. This cat, right? Okay. He's, of course, he's making his second appearance also, hailing out of Grand Island, New York. Entrepreneur with his rockin' products line of sex toys and CBDs and another Renaissance man. Let's get him in here. My man, Mr. Keith Caggiano in the house. Give him some dap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going on with Mr. Caggiano, Mr. Rockin' Products. What's good, my man? What's going on? Connecting the audio. Always with the connecting the audio, ladies and gentlemen. You'll get used to it. What's going on, Keith?
What's up, my guys? What's up?
What's up, Keith?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. Now, Keith, you were here last week. Of course, we were talking boxing. So far on the episodes that we've talked boxing, we've talked NBA, we've talked a little NFL. So it's going to be another crazy one today, Keith. Let's get our next guy in here. Okay, he is, of course, hold on, let me get him ready. A father of three, a skilled guitar player. We're going to talk to him about that today. Of course, one of 9 people in Connecticut, as I mentioned earlier in the season. Let's get him in here, my big bro, Mr. Robbie Day up in Ultra. What in the? Hello.
What's going on, Robbie?
I don't know. I'm not sure that's going to work.
Flip your joint.
Yeah, like something. I think I'm gonna I'll get dizzy.
Wait, no. Jesus. Hold on.
Hey,
There
JD, everybody got that Teddy Riley Wi-Fi, man.
Yeah. Now check him out. My man Robbie going with a very distinguished, almost like a Black Professor X thing going on here. What's good with the glasses, bro? What's up?
You know, I just had to look smarter than I am today. You know what I mean?
Now, I mentioned, Robbie, in the opening about your talents, with the guitar. And I wanted to ask, are you still gigging these days? What's going on with that?
With COVID-19, there's no gigs.
Oh, well,
you know.
Yeah, of course, not right now.
Right.
But leading up to that, were you still going out and getting dates and stuff like that?
Yeah. COVID-19.
What's up?
Yeah.
How you doing, my Rabbi? Hey.
Bar mitzvahs, that kind of, club gigs.
I dig it. All right. Yeah, so let's get our fourth and final panelist in here. Of course, hailing from the city of brotherly love. We'll call him Mr. Kapow, father, husband, dog lover, producer. We got a bunch of multi-talents up in this piece, man. Let's get him in here. Mr. David Goodman in the house. Let's bring him in here and give him some dap. David Goodman, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
All right.
The funky Buddha. Yeah, all right. I see where you're coming from. What's good out there in the valley, Dave?
Well, I just want to say that me and
you got to turn up your volume. Am I
too low? Is it too low for everybody?
Hey, Kamau, mute yourself. Mute your mic,
Okay.
Kamau.
I got you. My bad.
Yeah. Go on, David.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
I just want to let you know that my man and me and the Buddha twins,
Yeah.
we're all here. It's about peace and love. I'm here for you. Namaste.
All right. Well, let's get into it. But before we do, David, I really wanted to I heard a little birdie told me, and I mentioned in the opening that you're an animal lover. I heard that you have like an animal event periodically at your house, at least before COVID.
And during COVID.
Oh,
we
wow.
We have two dogs here, and I will bring you pictures of the next event. We on the weekends we have doggy play dates here, and we have up to 10 and 12 dogs playing in the front yard. It's awesome. It's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you something. When you see dogs chasing each other and running at each other, you will never be that happy ever in your life.
I like it. Very nice. All right.
I will bring doggy picture play dates. We even have a puppy doggy play date.
So wait, you have multiple categories of doggy play dates at your house?
That is correct. That is correct. You got the little dogs and the big dogs.
Wow. All right. Kudos for that, dude. Now let's get into this topic. I mentioned we've done some NBA stuff. We've done some NFL stuff. We did a little boxing last episode. Today, this is a multi-sport category that we're doing. And this is a good one. We got this is going to be a close one. We're really going to need you viewers to chime in here and let us know who you guys think is the winner of this category. The category today, all right, best one-hit wonder season, okay? This could be in any sport, but it's a complete season, right? Oh, my gosh. The Fonz here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best one-hit wonder season. So essentially a player who had a great season and then basically fell off the map, all right? So let's get it started right off the bat, right? Let's start it with you, Mr. Day. I'm curious what you're going to be talking about, what you think is the best one-hit wonder season. Let me set up the clock real quick. You got it? You ready? You ready, Mr. Day? Go. 2 minutes. Start.
Jeremy Lin Sanity.
Oh, wow.
This guy came in 2011. Well, he was signed in December of 2011, and he came in on a 13-game streak. He averaged 22.3 points per game, 9 assists during a 13-game run, and he was pretty much doing his thing, and he was ready to. He was just there, and then he tore his meniscus. I really think that if not for his meniscus injury, he'd be a better basketball player now. In the 35 games after, his points per game went down to 14 points. And so he's right now he's like an average player. But man, oh man, that 13 games that he came in, I mean, I think he had 42 points against Kobe and the Lakers that season. He was putting down some really good teams. So that to me that was like the best half a season one-hit wonder for me.
All right. I like that. I mean, now personally, I think I kind of feel like he almost don't even qualify. But that's just me. I'm gonna let you have that.
But insanity is
how you figure that
for a reason, though.
How he don't qualify?
13 games, not really a full season, kind of like an audition. Maybe I would have let him play on my rec league team for the 13-game audition, but we'll let him have it, and maybe he'll have something additional to convince me in the rebuttal. I don't think so, but let's start to you, Mr. K. Millie, since you chimed on in. Let me set the clock up real quick. You ready for it, Josh? You ready to do your thing? 2 minutes, go.
Yes, sir. You know how we get easy call. So Jeremy Lin was actually my first pick before the person that I'm actually going with. And the reason why I feel like he was a one-hit wonder because he came to the team. He had that run on a bum-ass, sorry for my language, on a bum team and turned it around. And I want to say that they went to the playoffs or something.
They did.
Day. I mean, enough to where didn't he end up like freaking going to the Lakers later on or something?
He did go to the Lakers a couple seasons later. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was on the strength of the season that he had with the Knicks, right? That's where he started at.
Well, he went from the Knicks to the Rockets, then to the Lakers.
He went to Houston. Yeah.
So that first season that we saw Jeremy Lin, we were like, who is this phenomenon? Who is this guy? And,
sure.
And I didn't even know it was a meniscus tear that, cut his career short. But I am for sure that if that would not have happened, he would have definitely been a force to reckon with
Agreed.
in the NBA.
Yep.
Fair. So is that your guy? Is that who you choosing? Jeremy Lin,
That's my
Lin?
rebuttal. I mean, I have to agree with Robbie. I mean,
These cats on this 13
I still have
game.
my guy that I have to, talk about, but Jeremy Lin is up there, man.
All right, well, I mean, when you
But it
going to
was a
talk
pivotal
about your
13
guy?
games.
Like tomorrow?
It was a
Because you got
pivotal
only
13
about 20 seconds. Are you going to bring it in the rebuttal?
Oh,
Who, me?
my bad. I thought I was on the rebuttal. That's my fault. I didn't know I was on my guy. That's why.
Yeah, you're on your guy.
So, can we do
Technical difficulties, man.
That's right. Hold on. We need tech support
a
again.
second
Yeah.
take, or
Yeah.
can I come back on the rebuttal side?
Yeah, you'll come back on the rebuttal side. Let's get Dave Goodman into this because I'm always curious. He'll probably have some stats, some
You frozen over here,
charts,
bro.
some graphs, like some slides. Who knows what he's got going on? What do you got, Dave? 2 minutes starting now.
Well, it's really all about the Magic Man. Hold on, where am I here? Get my hat in. Look at that mullet.
Wow.
Look at that mullet.
The Magic Man.
The Magic Man. Hold on, let's get him in. That's prettier. There we go. All right, let me tell you something. Don Mikowski, 10th round pick out of Virginia, 1987. One of the best American mullets ever. NHL doesn't count. And maybe Mark Asino, maybe the best ever. But anyway, here we go. Drafted in 1987, played 7 games for 875 yards in his first season. Second season, played 13 games, 2,100 yards. Respectable. 1989, starts all 16 games. Leads the league, 4,318 yards passing. Leads the league in attempt. Leads the league in completions. Second in touchdowns. Most game-winning drives. Most fourth-quarter comebacks. He throws every pass but one for the entire season. Makes the Pro Bowl. Finishes second in the MVP to some guy named Montana. I don't even know who he played with. His starting lineup includes all-time great players named Perry Kemp, Brent Fullwood, Keith Woodside, Ed West. Hello? One guy you heard of,
yeah,
right?
Ed West.
You've heard of Sterling Sharp. That's the only guy he had in his team.
Yeah.
Okay, what is his season? What does it mean? He was so amazing in that one season. What did it mean, and why was it the biggest one-hit wonder? All right, 61 to 67. The Packers win 5 championships, including 2 Super Bowls. And they lost in 1960 to my beloved Philadelphia Eagles.
10 seconds.
The next, that's too long. Lombardi retires for 20 years. They have 2 winning seasons. He comes in and wins 10 games, wins first time in 6 years against the Bears. I got more, but I'll come back.
Bring it in the rebuttal, my man.
Bring it on.
I've heard enough of this garbage. All right, Jeremy Lin Linsanity. Now, Cheesehead. I will give you Don Mikowski. Great season, led the league in yardage, 27 TDs. I'll give you all your numbers and stats and graphs and charts. All right. But in case you didn't notice from the shirt I'm wearing, ladies and germs, the best one-hit wonder season, the Bird, Mr. Mark Fidrich, ladies and gentlemen. And this for 2 main reasons. The numbers, first of all, 19-9, led the majors in ERA with a 2.34 ERA, right? 250 innings pitched, 24 complete games, right? Not only was he the rookie of the year, but he was the runner-up in the Cy Young behind some underwear model by the name of Jim Palmer. Not only all of that, this kid was the talk of sports, okay, with his antics on the mound, his talking to the ball, his manicuring the mound. He was on the cover of Rolling Stone, I'm telling you, all right? That's how big a story this guy was, all right? After that, 10-10 for the rest of his career. 10-10. He tore his rotator cuff. That was it. But he had the one beautiful 19-win season for the Tigers, was the talk of baseball. There's not been a one-hit wonder season better than that. Mark the Bird Fidrich. That's who you got to pick, fans. You got to vote for me. Most compelling argument. I still got 10 seconds. J.D. Butter, handsome man, Detroit Tiger. Boom, there it is.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, you guys, you don't even know what to say. It was so good. You guys are at a loss for words, so you stay at a loss for words, because now we're going to go right to my man, Mr. Caggiano, who's doing a write-in, I might add, okay? So let's see what this character is talking about. 2 minutes, my man, Mr. Keith Caggiano, starting now. Go.
All right. When we talk about one-hit wonders, is it somebody that had all the talent that peaked and then never came back to it because they weren't that good, or is it somebody that rose up so high for that 1 second, just like every one of us as athletes reach that peak, and it's about celebrating that too, and it's about celebrating winners. That's why I took this thing too, because when you're going into drafts, we're talking football, we're talking quarterbacks right now, just to give you a heads where we're going. We're talking about all the measurables and vertical jumps and stuff that just doesn't end up, whether it matters or not. We're talking about hearts. We're talking about winners, guys that can find ways to win. So what I'm going to talk about is a 2011 Mr. Tim Tebow, who gets lots of gas.
Wow.
But this guy somehow, no mechanics. Everybody's saying he does not have the mechanics. Nobody even knows how he won these games. And not only did he win these games, but if you saw what happened on his team and how his team just got behind it, it was like a movement. He had like a cult going, and he's doing these last-minute wins, coming out of nowhere, winning a playoff game when nobody was expecting it. And then after that, he went to the Jets and just got put back shelf. This guy was a Heisman winner. He was a two-time national championship at Florida State, who, by the way, didn't get any action while he was at Florida State. That's going to be some regrets on him back there, too, because I think he was a virgin that whole time, which is a whole nother thing. He's going to look back and say, maybe I should have enjoyed myself back then. But the thing
Especially
is,
Florida.
Right.
Nah,
Bikinis,
he's all right.
He's gonna regret on that. But the thing is I respect the winners, the guys that don't have the mechanics. For everybody that makes it to the elite level of sports, there's hundreds of other guys that were almost there, that were pretty good, that had some things, but they didn't have some of the talents. They didn't have some of the measurables.
10 seconds.
And the thing is Doug Flutie is somebody I put in this category too, being a Bills guy, but somebody who didn't have all the measurables, all the talents, but had a will to win. So that's why I want to celebrate the winners.
Or time's up. All right. Let's go around the horn real quick and just sum up what these people are talking about. What my cast of handsome men's here. So we got me. I said Mark the Bird Fidrich. We got Mr. Goodman over here talking about the Magic Man. One great season. True. Very true. K. Millie, he's about to really kind of make his argument in the rebuttal, all right, because he was going to pick Jeremy Lin, but has someone else that he really wants to talk about. So we'll double back around to that. My man Robbie Day, of course, picked Mr. Jeremy Lin, that 113-game season. And Keith Caggiano talking about the left-hander, the southpaw quarterback, Mr. Tim Tebow out of Florida State, and with the New York Jets and Bills and all that.
Everybody else.
It'd been great. Bills would have loved him.
So this is interesting. This is good because I really only see the Magic Man and the Bird even in this conversation. But I want to see how you guys rebut all these delicious, juicy numbers that me and Dave were serving up on a platter about our guys. All right. So let's throw it to Kamau to start because he really didn't get to take advantage of his 2 minutes. So let's start the clock. And you know what? Because of that, K. Millie, I'm going to give you 2 minutes in your rebuttal, homie. How about that?
I appreciate that.
All right. 2 minutes starting now. Go.
All right, y'all. So my pick was none other than Ickey Woods, right?
Oh.
The man,
all right.
the myth, the legend, right? This guy was running up and down, busting through stuff. The dude had over 1,000 yards in his rookie season. We all know him from what? The Ickey Shuffle. Hey, come on, y'all. Let's do it, right? Ickey Shuffle. We all know it, right? But At the end of that season, after 3 touchdowns in that last game and them losing, he was nowhere to be found ever again. He was like, where are they now?
Yeah.
Unsung. And he wasn't even a singer. He was a football player, but we knew the Icky Shuffle though, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, my man put up 1,000 yards that season. He led the league that season. That was his rookie season. And unfortunately, he fell victim to
Torn ACL.
Yeah. ACL tear, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, you know, and after that, next 3 seasons weren't anything. And we all know Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, come on, man. That's like playing a Pop Warner team if you really want to talk about it. So, I mean, you know, that's like a 10A or something of that nature. I don't know. But Icky Woods did his thing. And that's why I had to put him on the list because, I mean, after that one season, did you really hear about him ever again? I mean, can anybody even tell me what he does now?
I think
Pin
he drives
drops,
for UPS, actually.
Crickets.
Yeah,
no, actually,
exactly.
He's a coach now.
I believe he owns a lingerie football team.
He does. No, his wife actually owns like the league or something of that nature, and he like invests.
So he married
her,
well,
and he's a coach. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Well, 5 seconds. So
Hey.
I think. All right, Icky Woods. All right, I like
Icky
what
for
you're talking
president.
about. I'm not completely mad at it. Although I'm going to eat it up in the rebuttal. But
Come
we
on.
don't need to talk about that right now. We don't need to.
Let's do it.
Bring it on.
It's fine. It's fine. No, it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's throw it to Keith on the rebuttal tip. All right, you got your minute. Let's get it started right about now.
I gotta give props to Icky Woods. It was a good season. Cincinnati Bengals. That was a great season. They knocked my boys out of the championship game to go to the Super Bowl that year. So we had to have a lot of respect. We got our ass beat in the jungle, but Icky's good up there too. So you know, I got to give props to Mikowski too for that season too. So you know, there's so many people that reach for these stars, and so many of these guys have these seasons too, and it's worth celebrating too. So I'm not as much about a rebuttal. Mine wasn't as much about numbers as much about finding those people that found those ways to win and that intangible winners. Mine's about the intangible, not about the numbers.
All right. I like it. I like your angle. All right.
Very peaceful. Very peaceful.
Yeah. Very PC. Very PC.
That was very
nonviolent.
nonviolent.
Very good. Very good. We are
very nice
we are all
and
about
safe.
showing the people. Right.
Yes, we're showing like love and compassion and empathy, and this is sports. So
Celebrate.
forget about it. Let's throw it to my man Robbie Day on the rebuttal tip. Let's see what you're talking about. Starting now.
Listen, being a Generation Xer here. Let's all everybody just take a chill pill, step back, because at the end of the day, everyone knows Linsanity. Period. Right? You know, the guys you talked about, they're cute. You know, those are all right. But if you ask a person 8 years later, who is the craziest one-hit wonder season, I think it would be Jeremy Lin. I mean, he was noticeably surprised. He couldn't even explain it to the reporters after games. He was like, I don't know what happened. He was clueless. He didn't even
just
know.
blanked out. Yeah, he just blanked out. He woke up in the fourth quarter with 45 points.
10 seconds.
He was doing that without Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony
That's right.
season.
They were both. All right.
So
there it is.
Hey, I think he had that remote control that Adam Sandler had in Click. You know what I mean? Fast forward right to the end of the game, and he was like, "Oh, you know, got the days out."
Right.
All right. Y'all know what it is now. It's butter time. I'm gonna hop in on this rebuttal, and I'm gonna save last for my man, Mr. Goodman, Mr. David Goodman, because I know he has something good.
Good.
So I'm gonna start it out like this. Jeremy was good for 13 games. That's not a great season. I'm not impressed. He was nice for a little minute there with some little, 35 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds for like 13 games of an 82-game season. Now, the closest thing to me, Icky had a good season too, 1,000 yards, 15 TDs. He led the league in yards per carry. His team made it to the Super Bowl. Nice, good season. Not really approaching number 2 Cy Young voting type season, but, good season. Mikowski, I can't be mad, dude. I mean, that was legit great season. So I'm just gonna have to poo-poo him on the merits of that mullet. We can't give it to somebody with a mullet. That means it's the Bird, man. Again, number 2 in the Cy Young voting, Rookie of the Year, 19-game winner. That's my minute rebuttal. I'm done. So let's throw it to Mr. Goodman now to close this out. Let's see what you got, because it really, to me, comes down between the Magic Man and Bird. But
all right, so let me start. All right, here we go. And let's get a little. Oh, the video's not working. All right, so let's. Hold on, give me a second here. There we go. Let's get it. Here we go. All right, here we go. Rebuttal. Tim Tebow, college, multiple championships, Heisman, and the pros winning. That's not one thing. That's a career. Bird. Hey, I believe it. Good season. But what kind of history does Detroit Tigers have? All right, next. Linsanity, 13 games, enough said. Icky Woods, Cincinnati Bengals, enough said. Okay, here's what happened. Here's what happened with Don Mikowski, all right? He comes in 20 years, the great Green Bay Packers have nothing. What does Mikowski do? He brings them back to respectability. Then he gets hurt. And what happens when he gets hurt? They bring in a little-known guy.
Oh, no. He didn't.
Against the Bengals.
Okay, so listen, fellas.
Against the Bengals.
Don Mikowski brought the Packers back,
10
brought
seconds.
them on to Favre. Enough said. He made it 1 year career, Brett Favre, Rodgers history. Good night.
Wow. Okay, ladies and germs out there,
Mic
looking
drop.
at us in your computer or mobile device right now. Ooh.
Booyah!
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
This is gonna be a
I
tough
have to
one
give
for
it
you
to
guys.
you there, Mr. Goodman. That was a nice little rebuttal.
Yeah, I gotta give him props on that.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, he has to take a nap after this, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm exhausted. I need a drink or something. I don't know.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this one's going to be a tough one for you. This one's tight. This one I think is really tight. We're going to really need you guys to chime in on this one and let us know who you guys think should be the best one-hit wonder season. And also tell us who you think made the most compelling argument on this episode. It doesn't only have to be – oh, wow. Look at this guy in this video. I mean, don't be swayed by David Goodman's pyrotechnics. Right. It's about the argument.
Ow!
We've created a monster, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Fans, you chime in. You let us know what you think. You vote. You let us know who is making the best argument here. And at the end of the season, one of these cats on this screen right here potentially is going to be a winner. Yeah, that kablam is going to be when I –
What are we getting?
Wow, the cheesehead. Do not be swayed by this insanity that you're seeing on your screen from Mr. David Goodman, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for this esteemed panel. Mr. Keith Caggiano, give it up for yourselves. Mr. David Goodman, kabam. Mr. Kamau Talbott in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, Robbie Dave, the Black Professor X, and I, of course, am Mr. J.D. Butter Mantequilla if you're Spanish. Tune in next week for another exciting episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Until then, peace.
Peace.